only got 2 minutes, guys.
The Senate released criminal justice legislation, pretty wide-ranging, includes various things, but also includes a provision that would get rid of rewrite the statutory rape law and would allow consensual sex between people close in age, a 19-year-old and a 15-year-old, or a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old. Under current law, sex with anyone under 16 is a felony. Does that make you uncomfortable, that sort of proposal to shift the statutory rape law?
I have some concerns about that, but I have some concerns about a lot of elements of that legislation, and I have very positive sense about other parts of it. We're a long way to go here between where we are now and the end of this process. We filed a number of pieces of legislation on the criminal justice side, some of which were incorporated, which we appreciate, but many of which are still being heard and are going to be part of the larger dialogue. It's my hope and my expectation that at some point over the course of the rest of this session, we'll be able to work with our folks in the House and Senate to come up with a bill that moves the Commonwealth forward on this issue and is something everybody can sign off on.
Regarding Amazon, is your administration going to throw its support behind any one bid? And if so, if not, why not?
I think the best thing we can do with respect to Amazon is to give them what I would describe as a menu of options. I mean, the Commonwealth is a big-time player in technology and biotechnology and healthcare and big data and artificial intelligence and robotics and a whole series of areas that are particularly interesting to Amazon. But I think it would be a mistake for us to say, you need to go here. I think the best thing we can do is say, Massachusetts has a ton of capabilities that should be important to you, and we're making a series of investments in areas that should matter to you as well. And along with that, here are a set of possible sites that you could select, and you'll be hearing from the communities and the regions for whom these sites are, primary as part of this process. But I think, there are a lot of places they could go in Massachusetts that I would think would make sense to them. And the last thing I would want to do is I think picking one site would be a huge mistake. Because if you pick one site, what you're basically saying is it's here or nowhere. Now, what happens if it turns out that they look at a variety of proposals that we submit, along with our proposal, that are ideas and thoughts about how they could configure their operations that they hadn't thought about before? You miss that opportunity if you just submit one. I think we should be fans of every proposal, and our job is to basically make the case that Massachusetts is the best place for them to be. Boy, did that take me a long time to get there. Yeah.
Do you think former House Speaker Sal DeMaisi should have received a public service award? I know there were many politicians that posed for pictures with him this weekend.
Well, I would say, first of all, that the Massachusetts healthcare law, which has been a big success here in the Commonwealth, is something that the former speaker had a lot to do with. Who people choose to give awards to, that's kind of up to them. But I certainly think, that law, Governor Romney, Speaker DeMaisi, and the Senate President, Bob Travellini, were all sort of a big part of that. But again, whoever people choose to give awards to, that's kind of up to them.
Thank you.
I don't think I was.
Governor, I have to ask you about the Red Sox.
The Houston Astros have a really good baseball team. One of the things I noticed, all right, when you watch their lineup come up to the plate, they were all hitting over 285. Now, that's a heck of a lineup, and I certainly wish them well. But I think the fact that the Red Sox made it to the playoffs, won over 90 games, if at the start of the season somebody had said the Red Sox are going to win over 90 games and make it to the playoffs, I think most people would have considered that to be a pretty good year.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Secretary Sutter's available.